Broadcasting from the First National Bank Tower, this is KLEK Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council.
Jonesboro's community radio station. Your life, your music. KLEK 102.5 FM.
Good Wednesday morning, Jonesboro. This is meteorologist Tim Root with your KLEK 102.5 forecast. Mostly sunny skies today with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s and light southwest winds expected. Mostly clear overnight, about 55. Mostly sunny Thursday in the low 70s. And those temperatures will be cooler in the mid 60s or so, mostly sunny Friday. And it looks like Saturday is going to be mostly sunny around 65 degrees or so. Jonesboro's community radio station, we're KLEK 102.5 FM.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Holly Hudson. President Donald Trump and his opponent Joe Biden's first White House debate has been branded chaotic. During the fierce clash, Biden told Trump to shut up. Protests have erupted in India over the death of a young woman who it's alleged was raped and tortured. And the UK economy contracted by almost a fifth during lockdown, its largest quarterly contraction since records began.
It's 10:03.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
KLEK 102.5 FM, and we're back for a special extended edition of Community Conversations. We are now joined by Jonesboro Fire Chief Kevin Miller, and Chief Miller is in the studio today to talk about recruitment. So if you have ever dreamed of being a firefighter, this is your opportunity to get all the information that you need so that you can become a member of Jonesboro's finest. And we're also working with the fire department to help to increase the diversity of the fire department, because just like with the police department, we want our fire department to look like the citizens that it serves. So Chief Miller, how are you doing today?
Doing great, wonderful. Appreciate the opportunity to come in this morning.
Okay, so just kind of give an update of just how the testing program is working, when's the test, and what are the qualifications?
We're starting our testing process now. Jonesboro Fire Department falls under state civil service guidelines. We have a hiring test once a year. That test comes up, it's always the first Saturday in November, so this year the test will actually be on November 7th. But we are taking applications now, and part of that process is going to City Hall, the Human Resource Department, and picking up what they call a new hire packet. We're taking applications between now until October 22nd, so basically we have 3 weeks still left in this deadline and this timeline to be able to get the applications picked up. There's several steps involved. The first process is obviously picking up a packet and filling out a application. Now there's two ways you can do that. You can actually go to Human Resources office and pick up a packet, or you can do an online process and go to jonesboro.org under the Human Resource Department. It has a listing for the job listings, and you can fill out an application there. Even once you fill out an application online, you will still need to go by the Human Resource Department, because one of the steps in the process is a written test, a written examination. So once you fill out the application, you're going to show up and take a written test on November 7th. We give a study guide to help prepare for that written examination. And that application or that study guide can be picked up at the Human Resource Department once you filled out your application. Pick up the application, fill it out, turn it in. They give you a study guide. You use the study guide to prepare for the written test. Now the written test is the next step. If you pass the written test, you would come back the following week for a physical agilities test that we complete. It's basically running through a series like an obstacle course to make sure you're physically fit and able to compete in the job for a firefighter. After that, you are ranked on what they call the civil service list. The civil service is designed to rank you on a list of 1 to ever how many people pass based on how well you did on the testing process, on your written score. But under civil service law, we can only hire from the top 3 candidates. So we may have a list of 10 names and 10 people, but we only pick from the top 3 candidates. If I have one opening, I can interview the top 3 candidates at that time.
So what if you have more than one opening?
Well, then we are allowed to go further down the list. So if we fill a position, everyone moves. So I have one opening, I hire somebody, everyone moves up a notch, and now we will have another person in that top 3. So for the more openings we have, then obviously the more people we can go through, and the more people down the list will go. But it basically it's the top 3 candidates. I hire one, everybody moves up a notch, and we interview those 3 for each opening that we have.
Okay, so let's go to Kubila with the next question.
Good morning. How are you, Chief?
Good morning. How are you?
Okay, so for anyone who's considering applying, what are some physical preparation they may need to consider doing before applying?
Well,
for the just in case.
Okay, well, there is a physical agilities test. Like I said, it's a series of a kind of like an obstacle course you have to kind of go through. You need to have a basic general fitness ability. We're not looking for Olympic athletes, but this is also not a push-button world. It is a physically demanding job. There's not an easy button you can push and everything goes away. So you need to have a basic, reasonable physical fitness agility. The physical agility test consists of we'll suit you up in what is called a weighted vest. You're wearing a vest that has weights on it to simulate wearing firefighting gear in an air pack. You'll have to do what's called a hose drag. You have to drag a section of hose so far. You have to be able to take a ladder, set it up, climb up to the top. You have to be able to simulate chopping a hole in a roof. You have to be able to pick up a high-rise pack and be able to climb the equivalent of a 4-story building. You have to be able to pick up a 165-pound weighted dummy, a mannequin that weighs 165 pounds, simulating the weight of a victim, and drag them 100 feet across the finish line. And all this is in a timed event. So you have to have a reasonable physical ability to be able to do this test.
And what's your time on it?
My time? Well, I haven't done it in a few years, but my time, the average person will finish usually anywhere from 6 to 8 minutes.
'Cause I've seen YouTube videos of where fire chiefs, have went through the same agility course along with their officers.
Yes. Now, we have 2 parts. We have what's called the physical agility test to get hired, but even once you are hired, like I said, we have an annual physical agility test that every firefighter from me down has to go through. And it's based on a PT test. You have to do a series of so many push-ups, set-ups. You have to do a 1.5-mile run or walk. And myself and everybody else has to compete in that and do that every single year.
Okay, so now let's talk about some of the benefits obviously besides the adventure. What are some of the benefits as far as pay, retirement, other things that are offered for which once you start on the force, and also the pay scale?
Okay, well, we'll start with the pay scale. The starting pay for a firefighter is $34,500. That's the starting pay. We have what's called an advancement scale. So each year you're going to get a step raise. So you start at $34,500. After your 1-year anniversary, you're then eligible for another raise, and that will continue for the next 20 years of your career as if you're a firefighter. And obviously, if you have the opportunity to make rank, you start as a firefighter. We have various ranks: the position of firefighter, the position of driver, then captain, then battalion chief, assistant chief, right on up to chief. And if you make rank and promotion through time, there's a testing process for that, then obviously you're eligible for another raise and more incentives. But the starting pay is $34,500. You are then placed on have an option for the city's insurance. The city has Blue Cross Blue Shield at the current moment. They pay roughly 2/3 of the city's premium. I think 70% is what they pay. The individual pays the other 30%. And you have the option for a single or family plan depending on your personal situation. You will earn vacation time. You will earn sick time. You will be placed on what's called the state LOPFI pension system. Now, the state LOPFI pension system is for firefighters and police officers only. It's a state-funded system. It's not part of Social Security. And under that, you are eligible after you work for X number of years. If you work at least 28 years or age 55, whichever comes first, you are eligible to retire with a certain amount of pension. And it's a pretty good financially sound system, a lot more financially sound than Social Security may be. Let's see, city insurance, vacation and sick time you earn, and the pay. One of the also unique things about the fire service is our work schedule. Now, we are one of the original 24/7, 365. We never close. Thanksgiving, Christmas, holidays, doesn't matter, we're always there. But we work what's called a 24 on, 48 off schedule. What I mean by that is the firefighters that are on duty today, they came in at 7 o'clock this morning, and they will be there for 24 hours until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. So they'll get off work on Friday morning, be off all day Friday, all day Saturday, and be back again on Sunday morning. So they work every third day. So they work Sunday, off Monday, Tuesday, then they would work Thursday. So every third day that they work. So that has its pros and its cons. The cons are, like I said, we never close. It doesn't matter, Thanksgiving, whatever, you're always going to have to be there. Someone will always be staffed on that truck. The benefits is you have 2 full days off, but you're working 24-hour schedule. But then you have 2 full days off to whatever it is you want to do in your own personal time. So once you get used to that schedule, it's not too bad a schedule. Is there a sacrifice that, yes, you're going to be gone weekends, nights, and holidays away from your family? Yes. But you also have those other 2 full days off to be able to spend with your family.
And you may get lucky and one of those days may fall on the weekend.
Yes, yes.
All right, so obviously one of the things that we want to touch on, the reason which you asked to come on, is the diversity of the department. Your department and you as chief are actively looking to have a much more diverse department that reflects the community. So I just want to talk about that a little bit, because I noticed myself, I said, don't see too many firemen that look like me, but it's not that you don't want to hire them, but obviously if you're out there listening, I think this would definitely be something great to go for. So just kind of put that in your own words.
Absolutely. Now, what we've seen over the last couple of years, just applicants in general, regardless of race, have declined. We are having fewer and fewer people even apply for the position of firefighter over the last 3 or 4 years. And we've had even less, almost no minorities that have applied. And that's something we want to try to reach out and try to encourage more minorities to even apply for the process and going through the process for the system to be hired as firefighters. Yes, we are trying to work, and we need to do a better job of trying to recruit more minorities to be a part of the fire department, so it is a true reflection of the city.
Well, Chief, today, and one thing I would also recommend, in addition to this, maybe start doing like what Chief does. Maybe have one time a month. And I know you don't like to do long media interviews, but maybe have a fireman come in once a month. Talk about fire safety. Like you could talk about the training. Because I know when we do different things where you show the fire department to the kids are just like blown away at all of the stuff. So I think educating the listeners on what the fire department does on an ongoing basis, kind of like with what the police department does, I think would go a long way. And then also, like all the events going on, like I got this flyer for this rotor registration event. Have the fire department come out by being visible where people are doing things. I think it'll definitely help you.
Absolutely. That's a good idea. That's some good points. We try to be involved with the community. Now, obviously, this has been an unusual year, and we have withdrawn in some cases, and we're not doing as many public events because of the COVID-19 and the contact. So we have
Chief, not to cut you off, just had a question.
Okay, sure.
What is the minimum education requirement?
A minimum education requirement, you have to have a high school diploma or GED. Let me go through a couple of the basics. You have to be a U.S. citizen. You have to have a minimum of a high school diploma or GED. You have to be at least 21 years of age. You cannot be older than 34 years of age, and this is all based on state law. You have to have a valid driver's license and no felony convictions. Those are the basic requirements.
All right. So
21 years of age, driver's license, no felony convictions, high school diploma, and be willing to try and take the test and go through the physical agilities process.
Okay. Now, once someone is hired, how does the training process go?
All right. So once you get hired, we provide all the training. We're going to train you, we're going to send you to the Arkansas Fire Academy and be able to get your certifications. You're being paid a salary for that. We pay for all the training, we pay for your meals, your travel, everything. So you get hired, one of the first things we're going to do is schedule you to go to the Arkansas Fire Academy located in Camden, Arkansas, which is under SAU Tech's umbrella. You will have to get your certification for an EMT, Firefighter 1, Firefighter 2, and Driver Operator. That's usually conducted in the first 6 months that you get hired. Once you complete that process, you come back to the fire department and we put you through our orientation, getting you up to speed. It's basically a year-long process to get both done. And once you get all that certification, you're back on shift, working on your 24, 48-hour shift.
All right, so as we get ready to close, once again, just speak to the listeners and the viewers, let them know where they can get an application to apply for the fire department. And also encourage your friends as well. This is something that you've always dreamed about, or you need some excitement or just to serve your community, definitely encourage you to apply.
All right, again, you can pick up an application at the City of Jonesboro City Hall's Human Resource Department. Simply go in and tell them you're there for an application for the position of firefighter. They have an online version available that you can fill out under the cityofjonesboro.org's webpage, but you would still need to go by the Human Resource Department to be able to physically pick up a study guide to help you prepare for the written test. But those can be picked up anytime, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 at the Human Resource Department at 300 South Church.
All right, and give them that website one more time.
It's under the City of Jonesboro's webpage, which is jonesboro.org, O-R-G, jonesboro.org.
And once again, I want to go over a couple of the dates. They will be testing November 7th, and the last day to apply is October 27th. But
correct,
don't
5 o'clock, October 22nd. So you basically have 3 weeks to get your application packet and get your process in.
It says 22nd or 27th?
22nd.
Okay, I had the
October 22nd.
Okay, I had the wrong
3
date
weeks,
down.
yeah.
All right, so don't delay. Go ahead and get that application in right now. Chief, you got any shout-outs, anything that you want to send before we get up out of here?
No, I just appreciate really you letting us come in and have this opportunity, and I think that's something we're going to try and take you up on in the future, is being more involved and be able to come and share more information, whether it has to do with fire safety, especially as we're starting getting into the wintertime. We want to be able to promote fire safety around the holidays and anytime. So I appreciate that, and we're going to take you up on that opportunity to be able to spend more time and share with you.
Well, like I said, we'll make up a segment for you once a month. You know, bring some of the fire gear. Maybe have somebody come with the suit on. They can, people that's watching the feed
we
can
can
see
work
it.
something out and do some show and tells. Absolutely.
Well, sounds like a plan. Well, Chief, thank you so much for stopping by, and to everybody that's out there listening, and everyone out there that's viewing, go ahead and apply. Encourage your friends to as well. This is All Gospel Wednesday, so you guys continue to have a great and blessed day. This is KLEK 102.5 FM.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.